No job, no plan. No problem sounds ridiculous, right? In a world that worships 5-year roadmaps, retirement accounts, and color-coded productivity hacks, saying no plan feels like failure, like chaos, like you are irresponsible or lost. But what if it's not? What if this exact moment of not knowing what comes next is the most powerful space you've ever stood in? Because here's the truth: certainty is overrated. Certainty is where we hide. Plans are often just socially acceptable excuses for inaction. They give us the illusion of control. But real growth, real breakthroughs, they rarely happen inside the lines. They happen in the mess, in the unknown. In the moments where you're flat on your back, with nothing left but you, your instincts, your values, your grit, your soul. So if you're sitting there right now, with no job and no plan, don't panic. Don't spiral. Don't rush to fill the silence with the next job. That feels safe but soul-sucking. Breathe, sit in it. This is where reinvention begins. Not with answers, but with questions. Who are you without the job title? Who are you when you're not grinding to meet someone else's deadline? What kind of life would you build if you stopped trying to impress and started trying to feel alive? Those are scary questions. I know, but that fear, that discomfort, it's a signal. It means you've been surviving on autopilot for too long. It means your soul is waking up. And if you can resist the urge to run, to fill the void with noise and numbing, you'll hear something deeper. You'll hear truth. Maybe the truth is, you were never meant for that last job. Maybe it paid the bills but stole your joy. Maybe it gave you security but cost you your creativity. Maybe it was a distraction disguised as a career. And now that it's gone, you've been handed something rare: space. Space to think, space to feel. Space to dream again, not in some fluffy motivational way, but in a real grounded way. What do you want your life to look like, really? If you're over 30, over 40, you've lived enough to know that the job ladder doesn't always lead to fulfillment. That hustle for hustle's sake leads to burnout. That chasing titles and tolerating toxicity just to keep your place isn't a strategy. It's a slow death of your potential. So no job, no plan. Maybe that's not a problem. Maybe it's your permission slip to pivot, to finally create something with meaning, to ask what you're built to do, not just what you're trained to do. Maybe it's time to unlearn everything they told you about success, because they told you to get in line, to climb, to compete, to follow the script. And where did it get you here? Jobless, uncertain, and yet more free than you've ever been. Because now finally the script is blank. You don't owe anyone your next step. You don't have to pretend to want what you no longer want. You don't have to chase someone else's version of making it. You get to write your own. And maybe you don't know what that looks like yet. That's okay. Start with what you do know. You know what drains you. You know what lights you up. You know what kind of energy you never want to be around again. You know what kind of work makes you feel proud. Follow that piece by piece. Not with some master plan, but with trust, with curiosity, with action, because clarity doesn't come from thinking. It comes from moving. Take the meeting. Reach out to someone doing work you admire. Try the thing, launch the messy version. Post the imperfect idea, make the offer. Take the class. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be real. Momentum builds confidence. And confidence opens doors you didn't even know existed. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to take the next step. Even if it's tiny, even if it scares you. Especially if it scares you. Because that's the cost of growth. It means you're leaving comfort. It means you're stepping into the unknown, where possibility lies. So no job, no plan, no problem. You've got breath in your lungs, fire in your gut, and a blank page in front of you. That's more than enough to build something remarkable. Let's make one thing clear. Just because you don't have a job and you don't have a plan doesn't mean you're lost. It means you're unlearning. You're detaching. You're peeling off years, maybe decades of other people's expectations that got layered over your original dreams. You're not broken, you're becoming. And this season, as chaotic and uncertain as it feels, is sacred. This is the season where you stop pretending, where you stop performing for approval, where you stop showing up as who the world trained you to be and start remembering who you actually are. Because let's face it, how many years have you been living on default? Waking up doing the thing, following the calendar, responding to emails, checking boxes but somewhere deep down feeling hollow. That's not life, that's maintenance. That's survival. And now that survival has been interrupted, your routine has been shattered. Good, because nothing truly powerful is ever born out of predictability. It's born in the storm, in the gap, in the silence after the loss, when everything familiar is gone, and the only thing left is you. So who are you going to become now? Who are you when no one's giving you orders, deadlines or validation? When you're not defined by your email signature, your salary or your schedule? Most people never ask that. They're too busy keeping up. But now you've been pushed off the treadmill. And while everyone else is sprinting toward burnout, you've been forced to stop, to breathe, to reflect. Use the space. Use the silence. Use the questions you've been afraid to ask. What if this is your opportunity to build a life that doesn't need a vacation from? What if, instead of rushing to get back into something, you use this time to build something better, from scratch, from truth? From you, that business idea you've been pushing down for years because it felt risky. Now is the time. That creative project you told yourself was just a hobby, now is the time. That inner pull you feel towards something more meaningful, even if it doesn't make sense on paper, now is the time. And no, it might not work the first time. It might not bring in money in week one. It might confuse the people around you. That's okay, you're not building for them. You're building for you, for your future, for your peace, for the kind of life where you don't have to betray your values just to get paid, but you have to show up for it. You have to show up on the days when there's no external pressure, when no one's watching, when no one's expecting anything from you. That's when most people quit, because they think motivation comes from outside. But real power, it's internal. It's built in the dark, when no one claps, when you still choose to get up and move. So here's what I want you to do. Treat this time as your rebirth. Relearn your value. Redefine what success looks like for you. Rebuild your confidence from the inside out. And don't try to do it perfectly. That's just fear in disguise. You don't need perfect, you need progress. You need momentum, you need honesty. And you need to start today. No job, you've got time. No plan, you've got possibility. That's not a problem, that's power. Power to rewrite the script. Power to stop following and start leading yourself. Your journey, your purpose. And listen, some people won't get it. They'll ask what your next move is. They'll expect a clean answer, a job title, a company name, a position they can understand. Give them none of it. You're not chasing titles. You're chasing truth. And truth doesn't come with neat little labels. Truth comes with vision, with risk, with freedom, and freedom always looks like madness to people still trapped in systems they hate but won't leave. Let them judge. You've got building to do. So pick up the hammer, lay the foundation. Make the plan as you go. You don't need the whole map. You just need the next right step. Then the next, then the next. And before you know it, you're not jobless. You're not homeless, you're not lost. You're building a life that fits, a life that finally makes sense. So no job, no plan, no problem. The only thing you need now is the one thing no one can give you: a decision. Decide that this is not your downfall. Decide that this is your doorway, then walk through it.